Yes, do you remember Euro 2012? The whole country was living with football, and I met a girl who adored it just like me. It was our first date. Suddenly we started to argue about when the Ukrainian national team will play, so we just stopped a guy who was passing by and asked him. The guy was also surprised to see such a football-loving girl by my side, and we talked for some time, three of us. In the end, he smiled at me a bit enviously and said, "Appreciate what you have." But at that time, I was looking for someone very special. That's why our relationship with the football girl ended that beautiful summer day. And now let me take you to another beautiful summer day in 1999, 13 years before, the day my grandma died. Her name was Erna, and she was a classical, charismatic Jewish lady. In her life, she most of all loved three things: life itself, her relatives, and good food. I still remember the Napoleon cake she cooked. Never tasted anything like that ever after. And she had cancer. The last several weeks of her life, Grandma Erna had terrible pains. And still she was smiling, energetic, and cooking Napoleon. 2 days before she died, my father took her from her hospice to a luxurious restaurant. And they had the last conversation. Have you ever thought, what would you say to your loved ones on your last day? My grandma said to my father, "Tell them all to rejoice at each stone, at each ray of sun, and thank God for every day they live." 19 years have passed since then, and I still remember my granny's last commandment. But do I follow it? And now let's get back to 2012. The All-Ukrainian Speech Contest. I represented the Toastmasters Club together with Christina Belarus. For Christina, it was her first big contest, and Christina was a unique girl. 19 years old, very enthusiastic, and almost blind. She could read only like this. And when on the stage, she could hardly tell people from empty chairs. They were all like colorful patches for her. Moreover, she happened to speak the first out of 12 speakers. And still she made a wonderful speech. At that contest, Christina didn't take any place. But after it, she was just shining with happiness. Actually, shining was and still remains her permanent state. This is the person who really can appreciate what she has, even despite her disadvantage. My result at that contest was a bit different. I won the 3rd place, but I was 10 times unhappier than Christina. Oh, maybe if I had made that gesture a little bit differently. Oh, if I had said that phrase a little bit in another way. Oh, my hand, if I hadn't been shaking my hand, it was terrible. If. It seemed like I had butterflies in my stomach before the contest. After that, they all migrated to my brain. There was only one person who was comforting me. Not Christina. Oля. Oля was a member of Toastmasters community and my best female friend. Actually, half of Toastmasters thought we were dating, because we always were together. And when I was sitting in my chair, shaking from nervousness before the contest, Oля was holding my hand. She never directly said she liked me, but how much care and love was in every her look, in every word, and in every touch addressed to me. Once we were sitting in a cafe, and Ola told me, "Timur, you're so special. I believe one day somebody will write a speech about you." This is the moment where in movies people usually kiss. But do you remember that at that time I was looking for someone very special? Our relationship with Ola lasted for about a year. Then we had a quarrel, and we didn't communicate anymore. In 2015, I tried to contact her, but she wasn't present in any social networks. She didn't answer my emails and phone calls. And only this Wednesday, this week, she added me as a friend on Facebook. Now Oля lives in Warsaw. She's married and has a daughter. You know, when she contacted me, I had so many feelings inside. I wanted to ask her so many questions, but I asked just one. Are you happy? Ola didn't answer. She just sent me a smiley. And I think that smiley means that she appreciates what she has. And do you? Madam Toastmaster.
Build walls with your own hands. Do not build walls with your own hands. Anna Sytyashenko.
Sorry guys, but I cannot. The contest is too difficult for me. Dear friends, how is it to quit even before to start? Because of the fear to fail. I remember the first lesson life gave me on it. Being a child, as many girls, I was looking for a hobby for me. There were many options to choose. Painting, musical school, and dancing. I chose dancing and started to attend amateur dancing group at so-called Dom Tvorчества. Yes, one of those that could be attended for years. But it doesn't mean you can dance thereafter. Once, at my family board of directors, it was agreed to move me from Dom Tvorчества to a dancing school. I vividly remember that day when I was going to my first lesson to dancing school, full of enthusiasm, scrolling in mind two main things I should do. Get in stomach and straighten my back for not to look sick and round-shouldered. It was a day when for the first time in my life, the heaven fell on me. My world was just turned upside down. I saw the difference between Dom Tvorчества and dancing school, between me and those little girls diligently doing exercises at the bar. I felt being so awkward, like the ugly duckling. I came back home. No, I ran back home, hugged my mom and broke into tears. Mom, can you imagine? I'm the clumsiest girl in the group. My mom listened to me patiently and then said, "Listen, darling, what will you lose?" I thought for a while and answered, "Nothing." My mom encouraged me. "Exactly, you lose nothing, but can get new experience. You can quit any time, and even if you lose, it's better than not to try and then regret for the lost chance." I tried, my friends, and it worked. I succeeded to some extent. In a few years, I quitted dances, but it was another story. I will keep it for my next speech. Now, I'm a grown-up girl. At least it seems to me. But the story with dancing school comes back to me over and over, getting just new shapes. Once, 3 years ago, I came across a job advertisement. OSCE, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, is looking for Ukrainian nationals to fill open positions in Ukraine. Almost breathless, I found a vacant position in HR department that was perfect for me. my working experience and my dreams, applied, successfully passed written test, and was waiting for my interview. I was so excited that it seemed to me my heart started beating faster and faster to speed up the time. I vividly remember that summer day when I finally came to the OSCE office for an interview. The reception area was just crowded with people. Who are all these people, I thought. Then I understood. All of them were my rivals. They applied for my position in the HR department. I didn't get the job. I came to my boyfriend, hugged him and complained on his shoulder. Can you imagine? I'm so disappointed. Yes, my friends, I would like to hear from him something like, "Oh, my darling, don't be upset." But I heard instead, "Try to apply for this position at the head office in Vienna, Austria." I protested. "No, you just don't understand me. I'm not even good enough for local contracted position. And you suggest me to apply for their head office in Austria. Do not build walls with your own hands." His answer was. 3 years passed. Yes, I'm not working at OSCE, but this piece of advice became my philosophy. It's better to try and to lose than not to try at all. Moreover, we are taught not by our wins, but by our fails. Our success inspires us, but it's our bad that drives us forward, makes us stronger, moves us to a new level. But only in case we are persistent in our trials. Just take a minute and try to remind 2 or 3 fails in your life. Don't you agree that your strength is a result of your fails in the past? Dear friends, I sincerely wish you and me, all of us, to have enough wins and fails in our life, to ruin the walls and succeed in our endeavors. Thank you.
Picture this, 2084, the first mission to the stars. Astronauts in shiny suits, and the crowd goes wild. Wow! I love you, Mykola! Sure, there will be Ukrainians there, right? And everybody's happy, and then everybody's like, what? 2 huge bodyguards are dragging an astronaut out of the bus. And everybody's like, what? Who is that? That's the captain of the ship. What happened? He freaked out, doesn't want to fly. What about his replacement? Freaked out too. But somebody must fly because the stars will position themselves the right way in 1,000 years. So they're all in the cockpit, you know, waving through the windows, and at the very top there is a small window, and there's the captain going like, no. And everybody's like, well, he'll be fine, there's smart robots everywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Andriy, it cannot be this. That's crazy. Yeah, crazy? What do you know about crazy? Being tossed of an airplane at the height of 1,000 meters with a parachute, but with no intention and no idea what to do next. That's crazy. Happened in my life. May happen to you, so hear me out. This was 8th April 1984, my 16th birthday. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, dark and full of parachute jumpers. At the back of the military-style truck, all sitting on their wooden benches, rocking and nosing off. And I asked Kuza, are you okay? He's like, no, I'm scared. I said, don't be, we'll switch. So there's a hangar in the airfield and the small doctor's office. You get in, you call, you tell my name. they measure your blood pressure when you get out. We switch, everybody's happy, nobody's checking any IDs, it's dark there. And Kuza said, well, I'll do it, because it's your dream. Yeah, this was my dream to become a pilot. And Kuza was my classmate, his name Oleg Kuzmin. But everybody called him Kuza because he looked like a Ukrainian son of Pierre Richard. Or, for the younger audience, Berezhnoy from Tik. And that was my dream, but this was a little problem, my blood pressure. It was okay when I signed for the parachute course, but right before the jump, they measure it again, and jumping is scary. So that's why Kuza was giving me that. And we almost pulled it off. Almost. So the airfield was a real field, the cold wind in my face, and the hangar was huge and dark, full of people all sleeping. And we went there, and Kuza comes out of the doctor's office like... And then all of a sudden somebody yells, "Attention! Into your lines!" So we lined up. I'm in the line into the office, and Kuza in the line out of the office. And somebody comes from the doctor's office, and everybody's like, "Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?" It's the head doctor. And the head doctor walks by the outline. And I tell you that he didn't look like George Clooney. He walks by and scans everybody's face. And then he comes to Kuza and points at him. And I think, "Mama." And he says, "You, Mama." And everybody from here, turn right. We have yet another truck to take you to the plane. So run, go, 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 go. The last thing I remember, Kuza's face at the back of that military strike truck, like a captain from 2084. And I'm like, there's no robot here to help him out. So ultimately, I'm standing there and thinking, what have I done? What should I do? Before he knows it, Kuza is in the plane. They put on him my parachute. And if he freaks out, there's always a big instructor out there to help you, to give you a gentle push at your back. Get out of here. Kuza's out flying, and then boom. Police, prison, and my parents, "What have you done?" I ran back to the hangar. Still full of people, and I yell, "Emergency! Emergency! Call the head doctor!" And everybody's like, "What?" And nothing's happening. And then I feel this heavy hand on my shoulder. And I'm like, "Police, prison, parents, police, prison, parents, police, prison, parents." And somebody's whispering in my ear, "It's me, Kuza, you idiot." What happened? Well, Kuza says, I told them that my stomach was rumbling and they let me out. So, should we do that switch thing again? I'm like, "No!" Well, as you can tell, I had never become a pilot. Yeah, but I did my parachute jumping. Right the next day, all by myself. And it was awesome. So I'm not a pilot, I had never become a pilot, but I learned my lessons. Number one, dreams are tough. Number two, I was blessed to have a friend like Kuza. But listen, nobody, Kuza, your parents, or big money can buy you your dream. Because it's only you, and you only, who can make your own dreams come true. And it doesn't matter the way the stars position themselves. If you have a dream, just go for it, all by yourself. And good luck.
It was summer of 2007. My good friend Elena has married a nice guy Valera and moved with him to Moscow. But that was in 2004. Now, in 2007, she asked me for help to come to Moscow to take care of her small kid while she's at maternity house delivering the second one. I was more than 10 years younger, had zero idea of how to take care of small kids, Nevertheless, I had huge call of duty to come and help my friend. In fact, one summer morning, I arrived to Moscow. Sun shining on the parked cars, the fresh air blew over the body, and the smell of summer was already in the air. I knocked the door of Lena's small but cozy apartment. Valera, Lena's husband, opened the door. Hi, I am Valera, that is Varya, I have to go. I will be in the evening. The day was not easy. Kid needed 200% of my attention. Our rapport was quite hampered since entire vocabulary of the kid was one word, if the person can call it word, gaga. She was climbing through my stomach, chest to head and then back to stomach. I didn't know how to entertain her, with what to feed her. Nevertheless, meanwhile, I cooked the borscht, and at midday, I decided time for a day's sleep. I put the kid to the crib, pretend myself deadly and deeply asleep, and finally, to my great relief, the kid fell asleep. I went to the kitchen to secure a cup of coffee and desperately wanted a minute of silence. But again, I was not alone. The dog, big Dalmatian dog, was sitting in the kitchen and blinking on me with hungry eyes. Please, feed me, please. If you don't feed me right away, I would die. I totally forgot about the dog, and it was not eating the whole day. But what should I give to the dog? Anyway, there is only coffee and borscht. I decided to give it borscht. Then, of course, the kid woke up. I ran to the sleeping room to take care, started to play, and suddenly, very strange sounds started from the kitchen. It was scratches, grumbling, grunt, and then dropped into the silence. I was very frightened. I left the kitten in the crib and silently went to the kitchen. The picture I saw there was frustrating. Inverted chairs, badly smelling foam and some stinky liquid on the floor, and the dog. Dead dog was lying on the floor. It was not breathing, not giving any signs of life. From that only minute I knew that is me who killed the dog. I poisoned it with my borscht. Minutes of horror, and then actually I didn't have a moment to mourn about the dog, because now I had to save the kid. The small kid could not and should not stay under the one roof with the decaying body. You understand what I mean, yes? That time there was no phones, no internet. I still believe the best solution was to beg for help of neighbors. I left the crying and protesting kid still in the crib and went to the next door. Nobody else. I knocked the second time. The man around 30 years old opened the door and looked down. What do you want? And I started. I'm so sorry to bother you. I just came today from Ukraine to help your neighbors, to take care of the kids, and I have poisoned the dog. Could you please help me? I have not single person to ask a part of you. Please, could you please help me to take out the dead body? Should I come and have a look? Yes, please. The neighbor confidently went to the kitchen. I just took a minute to check the kid, and then I followed The picture was, actually as I left it, of the bad smell and mess and the dog was sitting and blinking as nothing has just happened. I was speechless. The neighbor, dog seems fine. I come home, yes? I just know. When Valera came in the evening, I haven't said a word, and it would be the whole story, if not the fact. That neighbor appeared to be his friend, and in a few days they have met. And all the story leaked out. And these two men were deadly laughing and endlessly repeating the story about the thing that I have poisoned and killed the dog. And I have learned the Dalmatian dogs could have epilepsy disease as well as human beings.
And we are all public speakers. What's your idea? Does or do our women's charm and beauty somehow help in public speaking?
Yes, I am sure it is. Especially when we have so many men in our room. Yes, but nevertheless, I am sure that our judges are very wise and they neglect such things as women's beauty and evaluate just public speaking.
Andriy Spivak. Certificate of participation and photo. Thanks a lot. Andriy Spivak, I have a question for you. If you were asked to speak in front of leaders of Ukraine, what would you speak about?
Take it easy, I would say. Most probably. My speech would be called Take It Easy, and I will tell you how and why to take it all easy.
Tetiana Artyushenko.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Diplomacy.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I have a question for you. What do you think, which profession deserves the highest salary and why?
Here I have actually two answers. First is truth one, or what I really think, and second is like political. First one, I think, of course, mine. Or at least my husband. But better mine. Then it goes to my card and I can officially and efficiently put these reserves. You know, since you already started with politics with Andriy Spivak, I will tell you what I really think, and I really believe that all the people, the most people are concerned, and the more responsible is their job, the more they should be paid. Because all the responsibility takes our life resources, and these people are really not gaining something from life what others can do. So I really believe the higher responsibility, the higher salary.
Thank you very much. Yulia Kalitinska. Please welcome. It's yours. Now it's yours. And the question for you. Who is the the most influential person in your life? Who is the most influential person in your life?
Thanks for the question. Your questions really sound like a table topic. It's like seems like double punishment for speech and table topic. There is a lot of punishment.
Just you know that according to the rule book, it's time for questioning the contestants.
You think I'm frightened? I'm not. Then I will answer your question.
Okay.
As you could listen and from my speech, the most influential person in my life is, of course, my mother. She supported me. She's my best friend. She's my best inspiration and everything that the life can bring. It's really very, very desired and very. I try just to find some really fascinating word. When your mother, that you have such kind of mother, and I'm very glad and I'm very thankful to life to have that mother that always helps me and leads me to other things in my life. Thank you.
Thank you. And Timur Berezhnoy. And now, action for you.
Photo.
Photo. Forgot about photo. Okay, thanks.
Question.
How do you see yourself 15 years from now? How do you see yourself 15 years from
If
now?
I answer correctly, will you give me the job?
The job?
Yeah, because this is a question which is usually asked at the job interview, but it's 5 years. Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Who has been asked this question, by the way, at the job interview? Raise your hand. Yeah.
Of course, everyone.
Oh, this question is not so popular. Okay, 15 years from now, you know, recently I had a birthday. I had I'm 34 now. So in 16 years I will be 50. And it's terrible. Graham, it's terrible, yes. I can't think about 15 years from now because I'll be so old. But I think I'll be a little bit better speaker than now. Maybe I'll conquer my worry, because when you are almost 50, you don't care about anything. Graham, or maybe I'm mistaken. I think only time will show that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it will be patient enough. Why coming here, it's not work, is it? I found myself intrigued by, in the metro, you buy all sorts of things. People always try to sell me flowers and ladies' tights, which I'd like to buy because I get a bit cold in my trousers. This is totally irrelevant. Really quite irrelevant. As I was going home this morning, happy, and I was going to be here, I wouldn't have to speak, is what I bought. I couldn't think what they were for, and I realised it was sort of mocks. A mock. I think a rabbit's egg is a bit big for a chicken's egg. And there's some very interesting properties, as it just opens, and I won't go on for, how long have I got, 30 minutes?
2 minutes up to 2.
Okay, well I probably have one room already. But there's a lot of interesting geometry beside this egg. And one of the things which I find that the boffins, the geometricians, even the engineers, the biologists who consider it, haven't actually talked about the problem I have. How do you eat a boiled egg? Okay, with your mouth, I know that. But you know, you have to, you want them, I like them hot, I suppose you do. You don't need to crack the shell, but how can you crack the shell when it's hot? You need an egg cup. I haven't found the perfect egg cup to hold it with. And this is how I'm going to, I won't promise, but I aim sometime this year, if you'll put up with it, I shall talk to you about the perfect egg cup.
Not really like, because that's very weird when you are invited to the stage and then you are like bumped with some very heavy, very important, very complicated topic, and you just have to answer like immediately. Okay, how to save the world from some global problem. That's really difficult to answer this kind of question. But I think your two last questions are a little bit connected. So, what is the most important thing you learned, and what is the best thing you can do for the Toastmasters? I think it's very simple. You just take some leader's position in the club, because you know, it's very relaxing just coming here, sitting and enjoying the company, and it's like, wow, nice people, wow, I should go meet them, and wow, I should talk to them after the meeting, and we should have a coffee. That's very nice. But have you thought about why is this thing happening every week? Because there are a team of guys and girls, and today I noticed that this club is partially run by a group of moms.
Life is like that.
Yeah, but this club is actually run by several nice people, and those nice people, they actually work every week, work hard on gathering these people and having the nice, interesting agenda, on negotiating with the place if something is needed, on preparing everything, notifying every participant that please come and don't be late. So, if you want to contribute, just take some officer's position next season, and everything will be fine. So.
Thank you very much. About Toastmasters community. How would you inspire new members to enter Toastmasters community? How would you inspire? What would you tell people? How to motivate them to come into that some people call strange community of Toastmasters? Okay, Dasha?
Well, it's not religious cult. It's not a religious cult. Well, it's a joke.
Go.
Religious cult. It's not a religious cult, I can say.
It's not a religious cult. Okay. Okay, yes, it can be. And Spivak wanted to add something?
Well, I can speak because I brought a 10-year-old to the Toastmasters community, so I have some experience. Right? My son, he's a member of this club as well. Why we're here? What's the motivation? Motivation is exactly this. You know, there are tough questions of how to fix the world, asked every now and then, and that's the beauty of Toastmasters. And thank you very much for these tough questions. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't make any sense if everybody's kind of giving you some. You know, giving you the false feeling that you're a great public speaker, but when you come to the real audience, which I did a couple of times, and you understand that Toastmasters is a very, very friendly environment. In the real world out there, they don't toss rotten tomatoes at you, but they just walk away. Yeah, exactly. So that's the point. You know, the motivation is this: you come here and you really, you know, learn how to survive in real life. In the Toastmasters world, public speaking world, and public speaking is everywhere. Job interview, public speaking. Talking to your boss, public speaking. Talking to your wife. That's the most important public speaking.
What do you think are the benefits in participating in different kinds of contests in Toastmasters community? What are the benefits of participating in different kinds of contests in Toastmasters community? Okay, Dmitry, am I right? Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity to make a public speech for this beautiful audience. This is first my first try to do this, not only here but in any sort of Toastmasters clubs. So, in my opinion, the any sort of contest is a brilliant possibility to overcome yourself, to demonstrate your most strong qualities of your personality and of your nature. Also, this would be a very good point to see the other participants of the contest and see their strong qualities and weak points and correct your own steps during public speech and observe the best tricks and tips of other participants and apply these tips and tricks in your own speech. In addition, maybe the contest is a place where you could feel and see emotions of other people, and this participation in such sort of contest could be may inspire you for such activity as public speaking, and because of course public speaking is a very technical activity, but I think that this sort of activity is impossible without emotions, and the contest is a good way to feel these emotions, and this in turn will improve your techniques and your abilities as a public speaker.
And we'll finally get to know who was the best of the best and the coolest of the coolest. Let me introduce Olga Garamas.
Dear friends, now it is the exciting moment when we can announce the winners. And let me assure you that the competition among our contests were really very tough, very tough. And thanks to our secret judges, we have determined our 3 prize places, 3 winners. And let's start from the 3rd place. Goes to the beautiful member of our Art-Talkers Club, who is very diligent, who is very soft, I don't know how to say, but who is know how to break the walls. In the theater, so a lot of our speakers today impressed me with their actors playing, and the 2nd place goes to such an impressive man. It's a man who loves to dream and who ready to go till the end for his dream. Andriy Spivak.
When you said a beautiful member of the Toastmasters, I was like, oh, 3rd place, not bad.
Thank you.
I think it is still elementary.
Yeah.
Who can cook delicious borscht?
dear people, thank you very, very much. Wonderful pleasure.
Cup of Toastmasters.
Dear friends, I want to say thank you to all our participants. It was really enjoyable contest, and also to our guys who helped us, to our secret judge, to our timers, our counters, and to all the audience who was so supportive. Thank you.
Thank you very much for our Chief Judge Olga Garamas. Dear friends, if you want that beautiful Saturday morning or the beginning of the afternoon, every Saturday you can come to Art-Talkers to have such inspiration, motivation, to listen to such great speakers, to improve your public speaking, to enjoy every minute, because I think that the whole 2 hours were enjoyable. I don't know, I hope, I'm sure that you love that place as much as I love it. Because those people were so great. Even of all the difficulties, even of all the hardships that they had, they did their best. Thank you very much, dear participants. Thank you very much, dear judge. Thank you very much, dear guests. The meeting is adjourned. Let's make